we had like cornhole going on, and I remember dancing, and I was like seeing people really get into it. Like people were taking off their shirts and just in their tank tops. I'm like, whoa.
Yep.
It was getting
rowdy
out there.
Heated cornhole.
That's what we wanted, though.
Yes.
That's what we wanted.
Yeah, we wanted a big party. We even had like my sister and her friends came out in like the inflatable Bad Bunny sharks. So we had them. Yeah. It was really fun.
That's awesome. Bridal Babes, I hope you're ready to talk weddings with me on another exciting episode of your favorite wedding podcast, Bridal Buzz. I'm your host, Kat, and today we're joined by our first couple in the new studio. I'm so excited. Why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves?
I'm Jalen Hudson Stancliff. This is my husband.
Hudson Stancliff.
Thanks for being here, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Still weird to say. Husband.
Yes. And you have this full double hyphenated name now.
Yes.
And how fun.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you guys have been around for a while, you might have seen Jalen and Hudson's engagement story. They came in the old studio. Jalen has also done an episode about bridesmaid proposal boxes and things like that. So you guys have been with us for, you've been engaged. You were engaged for about 2 years.
Yes.
Yes. So they were with us the whole time. And so this is super special.
I know. Thanks so much for having us.
Oh my gosh. My pleasure. You guys are just the greatest. Super cute. I cannot wait to talk about your wedding, your relationship, and then have you give your 2 cents on a couple of real world situations that the internet has given us. So you guys ready?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. All right. So we already covered your names, how long you were engaged, but for those of the listeners that didn't listen to your engagement story, tell us a little bit about how you met and like the beginning of your relationship.
Well, we met on Bumble, and then we kind of just hit it off from there, I feel like. And then you proposed on a long hike.
Yeah. In Idaho.
Right.
But he made me trek like 8 miles.
Mm-hmm.
He promised there was going to be food down
She got angry very quickly.
the bottom of the mountain, and there wasn't. But he set up a tripod, and we found this really cool place called Five Ponds. And there was like an altar there and all these really beautiful pine trees. And he was like, this is a really good picture. Like, let's let me just take out this tripod. I'm
Great
like,
Instagram
okay.
boyfriend. Yes.
He knows. And then he like set up the phone, and he's like, oh, let's just put it on video. I'm like, okay. And so he's having me like practice these poses, and we're just posing, and then he's like, okay, let's like go back to back. I'm like, Charlie's Angels? Like, what? And so we go back to back, and then he's like, now turn around. I'm like, what? And he was on one knee, and I think I was just like, shut up.
And you're like, can I get a burger now?
Yes. And then we ate.
We
really
did
good.
eat after
We ate
that,
steak.
yeah. It was great.
Steak? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, better have been a good meal.
Yes.
Yeah, it was a great meal, especially after that 10-mile hike.
Yes.
That's
It's
so
worth it,
cute.
though.
And you guys are like, that's something you do normally, right? Like the hiking and outdoorsy.
Yeah, very
Yeah, we're
active
pretty active.
individuals.
Yeah.
I'd like to think so.
And was it, you were visiting family in Idaho, or what was the story there?
I was working in Idaho, and so I usually stay up there for like a month or two.
Okay.
And so Hudson was able to come and see me for a couple weeks, but I didn't know he was going to propose.
Aww.
It was special.
And how deep into your relationship, how many years had you guys been together?
That was year 4?
Okay.
Yeah.
Year 3 or 4?
Let's say 3. It was like
Wow.
3.5. Yeah.
And had you guys known for a long time that you were each other's people? Was that a conversation that was had, or did it just kind of like happen naturally?
I think we always knew, and I think we even talked about it, and we're kind of older, so a lot of our friends were already married or getting engaged, or we were going to their weddings, but it wasn't really a thing for me. Like, I was like, we don't have to. Like, I know you're the one, and I know I'm the one, so we don't have to do anything. And I think the sweetest thing you told me was, no, I want to do it. I want to show you how committed I am to you. And so that was really special. And
he's like, I did say that.
I did say that. That's right. Thank you for reminding me.
So yeah, so
Hudson, how did you know that Jalen was the one?
I don't think there's any one thing that really just did it for me. It was just over time we get along very well. She's keeps me very level-headed and on a good path, and she's my best friend.
Aww.
We have fun together, and after Bumble, or when we met on Bumble, it took us a couple months to actually like meet in person.
Oh, okay.
We took a little bit, I say a couple months. It was at least a month, and then we finally, she was the one that was kind of like, are we going to meet in person or what's up? And I'm like, yeah, I guess so. We
just DMing each other forever?
Right, yeah. So, and from the first time I met her, she came out and met a bunch of my friends at Little Woodrow's.
Yeah.
And, my friends can be very, they'll interrogate you to figure out what your intentions are and who you are and what your humor is like. And they tested her, and she did really well. And I was like, that right there alone just went very far for me. So
the first date, you like basically met the family.
Yeah,
like,
pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
A lot of them are pretty much brothers. So we're all brothers. So she did well. And then after that, there's not one day that I was like, she's the one. It's just been over time. I'm like, I can't see myself with anyone else.
Yeah.
So.
Aww. I love. I can't. Ugh, gross. Icky. Okay. Don't cry, cat. Okay, so you got engaged late 2020. Is that what I'm...
Yeah, I think September.
Do you remember? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then you guys decided to have kind of a prolonged engagement. Was there a reasoning behind that? Was the pandemic a part of that decision making?
I think a little bit. I knew a lot of people that were engaged 2019 had to hold or like 2020 with, their weddings were pushed. And so I didn't want to have to just pick vendors because they were available. I really wanted to find the people that I wanted to be a part of our special day. And then, it was so much uncertainty during that time. And so I'm like, you know what? I think we'll just chill out for a while, enjoy being engaged, and take our time picking and choosing who we want. And I liked it like that.
Yeah.
I'm a 5 on the Enneagram, so I overthink a lot of things, and I go into deep detail about each thing.
Yeah.
So it was nice to have that time and not like rush it.
Yeah, I feel like you had to like make a decision because it's the time, and it's like, no, I want to know everything I can know and make it based off of that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
What was the hardest part about having that long period of engagement?
Probably everybody asking us, when are y'all going to get married?
Yes.
When is it?
Are y'all going to get married?
Yeah.
We're taking our time
Yeah.
and making sure we do it the way that we want to do it. So
Yeah.
I'd say that. I mean, besides that, that's all I could think of. Everybody asking us.
And then it just like took, I don't know, it was great, but I feel like the hardest part was I was on social media a lot, and I was looking at other people's wedding, or I was on Pinterest, and I'm like, ooh, did I make the right decision on doing this? Like, I was overthinking. I'm like, oh, well, that's a really cool idea. Maybe I should have done that, you know? So
Girl,
it was
I know.
too much time. And like comparing. So I really had to just shut the Instagram off and kind of just be like, no, this is what I do. Like, I know I like this. I know it's going to make me happy. So let's just stick with it.
And it's okay to see something and be like, wow, that's beautiful. I'm happy for them.
Yeah, that's it.
I don't need to like put their, whatever on me. I don't need to like have those expectations of myself. But like, having a healthy relationship with supporting other brides is like it's just hard. And when you're like on a budget and you see these people who aren't, or like, it's just really hard to know what's going on behind the scenes. Yeah. So I totally get that. I often say you can plan 1,000 different weddings. You just have to plan one though. So hopefully you feel good about the one you did.
Yes, I love it.
So let's get into that a little bit. So it sounded like maybe you guys didn't have a date for a little bit of your engagement, and people were like, when's the date? Tell me, when is the wedding? So how long did it take for you guys to book your venue and solidify that date?
Well, we got engaged September, and by the end of December, we had already booked our venue.
Okay.
And so I wanted to do it right away. I knew I wanted to do it in the hill country, but like kind of close to San Antonio and Austin, because that's where Hudson's from. And so we booked it right away. What I did was I picked 5 venues that I wanted to see, and I had my now mother-in-law and sister-in-law come with me, and so they all checked, like we all checked it out, all 3 of us, and then I picked my top 3 from there, and then I had Hudson check them out. And so I was like, okay, which ones do you like let's do a pro and cons list. And from there he was like, I like this one and I like this one, and so then we had our top 2, and then we ultimately just picked one, and that's how we did a lot of our decision making, because
you kind of like narrowed it down and still like wanted him to be a part of that final decision. I love that. We have a story a little bit about groom's roles in weddings, so we'll get to that later. But so you booked your venue. What came after that? Food.
Yes. So our top 3 important things I feel like were venue, dance floor, and food, and
alcohol.
And so those were our top 3 priorities. So we found our catering person in Blanco. Nice. It was kind of like a serendipity type of moment, because we went into this place called Oreo Bianco, right?
Yes, Oreo
it's
Bianco.
A gelato place in Blanco, and that's where his mom is from. So we stepped in there, and they make their gelato from Buffalo, which I highly suggest everyone go.
Buffalo's milk.
Buffalo's
delicious.
Milk.
This is in Blanco?
Yes.
On my way.
So everyone make a little road trip.
Coffee too.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they had a refrigerator. They have meats and jerkies and cheeses and all that stuff.
It's like a farm to fork type of little setup.
Nice. Yeah. With local people's
everything.
Milk and meat.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yes.
Yeah. Local milk and meat. Okay.
Yes.
Cute.
And there was potato salad in the fridge, and I'm like, I don't want potato salad.
I freaking love potato salad.
It was so good.
Okay, what is this place called? Oreo de who?
Oreo Bianco.
Oreo Bianco. Okay. Literally on my way this weekend for sure. That's good. Yum.
And so we got this little pint of potato salad, and the cashier person was like, oh, have y'all ever tried Ashley's stuff? And we're like, no, who's Ashley? And she's like, oh, well, they have she has a catering in Stonewall, I believe. And a catering.
Sisterdale. No.
And so they're like, yeah, she's a really great caterer. She has dinner parties at this vineyard where she hosts everything.
What?
So I'm like, oh my goodness, we're getting married. We need a caterer. I called her. I had a little chit chat with her. She was super amazing and super kind, and I just knew immediately, okay, this is gonna be great.
Aww.
I set a meal tasting with both of our moms, and I kind of told her what I was going for, which was Mexican food, but not I don't know, every wedding I've been to, my family's been to, it's always brisket, rice, and beans. So I didn't want brisket, rice, and beans. I kind of wanted something a little bit different. And so she did this full spread for us, and it was amazing. It was so different. We had poblano brisket stuffed over elote.
Yeah, that's right.
Pork tenderloin with peach preserves on top. It was
wow.
Chorizo,
sweet
potatoes.
Potato fries. Yeah. Chorizo, sweet potatoes.
Shut up.
Yes, it
That's
was
so
amazing.
special.
My mom was very on the fence about it.
When we told her what we wanted and who we were going with, she was on the fence about it, because she's not the lady cooking was not a Mexican American, so but I think she spoke very well to both of our families.
Wow.
It was really cool.
Your mom was just nervous it wasn't going to be traditional enough? Or
yeah, it wasn't going to be traditional enough, because, there was also black beans on the menu. She's like, black beans? We don't eat black beans. We eat chattel beans. I'm like, Mom, just give it a chance.
Yeah. We're in Texas too.
Yes.
Black beans are...
It's good.
They're a Texas thing, I think, right? Yeah.
And it was a hit. We loved her.
It was great.
and she delivered. Everyone complimented our food, and like that was one of our things. Like we wanted good food.
Yeah.
And we wanted to support local businesses too.
Yes.
That's something. I own my own business, and just throughout the pandemic, seeing how hard most of the local businesses were hit by all the shutdowns and all the crazy things that were put into place, we wanted to find someone who was, and all the food, she sources it from local farmers.
Wow.
So we wanted to, we didn't want to go with just some big chain catering company that freezes everything and then defrosts it at your wedding. It was all fresh, all just amazing. She was great.
If there's one thing that's always made me nervous when thinking about becoming a bride, it's been the color of my teeth. I've never had the brightest or the whitest smile, so that's why I'm thanking God for Bride Bright. I just put in my order at bridebright.co and was so excited to see that they actually had a couples kit available. So I have a Bride Bright kit and Jackson will have a groom's glow kit. And I can't wait to share our results with you guys after spending our 10 minutes for 10 days on working toward a brighter and whiter smile. So if you bridal babes out there also want brighter, whiter teeth, you can use code BUZZ for 40% off your online purchases. Yes, you heard that right. BUZZ for 40% off. All you need is that 10 minutes for 10 days for you to start seeing real results on your smile. I think something like this is so worth it for wedding season, especially since we spend so much on our photography and our videography. So why not have the best, brightest, whitest smile on your big day? I'm also really excited to try their Stay Bright on the Go wipes while I'm drinking red wine for 3 days straight on my bachelorette party. So I will definitely let you guys know how that keeps my smile brighter. And again, head to bridebright.co and use the code BUZZ for 40% off of your purchase. Oh, I love that.
We love Ashley.
Yay. So you got food taken care of, drinks taken care of. Tell me about picking out your outfits. You both looked amazing, but like that dress with the sleeves and oh my gosh, like were you expecting, did you have any anticipation?
No, not at all. I guess I had a picture of what I thought she was going to come out in, and it was completely not what I thought she was going to come out with in the best way possible. But yeah, I was very surprised, and thought you looked beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes, it was stunning. Like what was the designer? Was any of that custom, like, or was it built that way?
I went to Gautier off of I-10, and I had actually booked 2 appointments. So I booked one there and one at a different place. And so I only had my mom and my youngest sister with me, and they kind of were just like, okay, well, you guys can just pick and choose. And I'm like, okay. So me and my mom got super excited, and we're like picking off dresses. And my youngest sister, my relationship's super close. We would watch Say Yes to the Dress with each other, and we're 10 years apart. So she had always said, like, okay, when you get married, like, I want to be there. And I'm like, absolutely. Aww. So I'm looking at her, and she's not doing anything. And I'm like, Jocelyn, don't you want to pick out a dress? She's like, I want her to try this one. And it was the dress on a mannequin. I'm like, okay. So that was the first one I tried on. And I loved it. Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And then when they saw it, they're like, Jalen, like this is it. And I'm like, no, like I still have another appointment. No, I don't want it to be. But I tried on other dresses with feathers and like big ball gowns. Like I wanted to try it all. Yeah. And then I went to the second appointment. I didn't say yes to it then. I went to the second appointment, tried on another dress, one that I really loved. And then I like had them close the curtains, and it was just me by myself. And I really just wanted to like, okay, have that time alone and really just, think it over. And I just kept saying, no, I think I like the other one. And so I didn't walk away with the dress then. It wasn't till a week later that I went back to Gautier and said yes to the dress. But my family didn't know which one I said yes to.
Oh, my gosh. I love that. So it was a surprise for everyone?
It was a surprise for everyone.
Oh, my God.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah.
That's so fun. Me, on the other hand, I'm like, who wants to see my dress? I'm so excited about it. I literally can't keep a secret. Yeah. I'm like, I buy a gift for someone. I'm like, Do you want to open it now or do you want to wait 2 weeks?
That's
Same.
her. That's Jalen.
I mean, even I'm like, Huds, do you want to see my dress? Do you want to see my dress?
Are you sure? We don't have to be
She's like,
traditional.
stop it.
She would
Stop.
literally put the picture on her phone and do like that real quick. I'm like, what? Why would you do that?
Savage.
Who does that?
But you still didn't know what it was going to be.
No, I still didn't know.
So
any
it
idea.
worked.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
great.
and the
Tease.
sleeves
Oh my
are just so.
Oh, they were perfect.
They were like puffy, but not too puffy.
Yeah.
And they're removable,
Mhm.
which his mom didn't realize till like after we got our pictures back. She's like, "Oh my gosh, did y'all rip off the sleeves? Like what?"
Were you just so tired of the
She
sleeves?
just like was not. She
There goes $1,000.
yeah. Yeah, it was amazing.
Wow.
And it bustled well too. I was
Yes.
really nervous about that because it did have a long train. And my mom actually hemmed the entire dress,
Shut
and
up.
she like did a whole situation with the bustle, so it wasn't like, you know.
Is your mom
Yeah.
a seamstress?
No, but she just
That's
yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
I don't want to give too much away, but I just found out like how much it's going to cost to hem my dress, and it's insane.
It's ridiculous.
And my mom's like, please go get another quote. Your dad is going to cry. And I'm like, okay, I will, but like I really don't know how much variance, and I'm not like looking for the cheapest alterations option,
right,
you know.
Right.
But oof, I wish my mom could hem my dress. That would save me a good chunk of change. Yeah.
Yes.
And the bustle,
Absolutely.
I literally a couple episodes ago I said I was anti-bustle. I would never went to an alterations, you know, like trial.
Yeah.
I don't know what to call it. And consultation.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the bustle that she created, I literally was like, this is what the dress looks like it's supposed to be like almost, you know? It didn't take away from the dress. It only built on it, you
Yes.
know? And I was like, how do I wear this during the reception? What am I going to do?
Right.
So thank God.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Yeah.
That's so good.
I know.
Because I've seen some bustles and they're like, I'm like, no.
It looks like the 1800s.
Yes.
Oh, Fritzy. Do you like bustles too now? He's now Team Bustle. So what inspired your outfit, Hudson?
Oh, I don't. To be honest, I'm not a very fancy, flashy person. So we walked in, and she was like, "You look good in black. Obviously, I want you to wear a black suit." And yeah, they had a catalog. I was like, "All right." We started opening up, and I mean, there were 1,000 decisions for us as well. But yeah, I don't even, to be totally honest, remember what I even went with, but I know it was a black suit. I had the bow tie.
Was it a
the bow
tuxedo?
tie.
It was a suit?
Yeah, it was a tuxedo.
Okay.
And all my groomsmen, the only difference is they had a black tie instead of a bow tie.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Fun.
it was simple. but,
Classic.
I
Yeah.
love the classic
Yeah.
look.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
wanted to do something kind of flashy, but I was like, that's not really my style.
I mean,
We were thinking
tuxedo
about-
it's flashy within
Yeah.
itself. Yeah.
I thought so.
What was like the other? What was something else you were envisioning, like
Oh.
flashy?
Something like with designs on
Okay.
the
You know, like the
on
paisley.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
paisley design.
Uh-huh.
That's what I was talking out loud about. And then once I
Yeah.
got in it, and I was like, saw the just the regular black and white tux. I was like, oh, I like this.
That's
All
much
right.
more my speed.
Yeah, definitely more of my style. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Did you think about maybe switching your jacket for the reception or anything like
I
that?
did. I thought about that. And I mean, honestly, everything just happened so fast. We had so many different things going on. I was like, I'm fine with the way I look right now in this, and I don't mind wearing it all night. It's
Yeah.
not. I mean, if anything, I'm probably just gonna take the jacket
Right.
off when we start dancing. but
Exactly.
I think I just wore the whole outfit the entire night.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it was great.
love
Yeah,
that.
You look good.
And what was your bridal party wearing?
They were wearing taupe. That was their color.
Ooh.
Taupe. I went back and forth with like the burnt orange, like the terracotta color. But I don't know, after looking at so many bridal party photos, I just loved the classic, like the taupe, and the guys had like the just normal tuxes with the skinny ties. I'm like, that just looks so timeless and
Yeah.
classic. So yeah, that's what I went
I
with.
love that. It's these things are hard decisions to like solidify. Like
Yeah.
I literally just Jackson sent out his assignments for what his groomsmen need to wear in our weddings in like 2.5 months. So
Yeah. It's so hard.
yeah.
Because you have to think about, like, I want all the girls to like feel good
Yes.
and look good, and then I'm like, oh well, they're also walking down with these guys, so I got to make sure that they complement each other. So it was kind of it was a lot of work.
Yeah. And how many people did you guys have?
We had 10.
10 each?
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
You guys just have a bunch of besties.
I've got a lot of friends.
Oh, that's good.
I have 3 sisters.
Yeah.
So
That within itself is, yeah. I had to decide no family in my party because where do I stop? Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
I
So,
feel that.
Yeah. Yeah, 10, I mean, I feel like 10 is, if you were over 10, it'd be like, okay, where is everybody? But 10 is a solid amount.
Yes.
Did it feel chaotic? Did it feel good?
Yes and no. Like, I feel like if I did it again, I don't think I would do any bridesmaids. I would still want the experience of like having everybody get dressed together in the morning, because I loved that.
Yeah.
But it was also just a lot, and I feel like I mean, I heard y'all's podcast about the trends of like the girls sitting down.
Yes.
I liked that idea too. Because I know standing up there for that long is so hard, and then they're cold, and it was really windy, and there's just a lot going on. So
Yeah.
like, I feel like less is more. I feel like.
Yeah, and I'm also like all the pictures and everything. Like I get it. I want to have those pictures at the end of the day, but it's also like how much of your wedding day is spent posing moments, and how much is just natural, you know,
Right.
and having the bridal party and taking all those pictures and blah, blah, blah. It's like, if it could just naturally happen throughout the reception where you're taking pictures for 5 hours anyways, that'd be great.
Yeah. And we didn't do any like getting ready photos. Like I didn't do
Okay.
any getting ready photos with my girls. Just because I'm like, I'm not going to put these up.
Yeah. Like who is that for?
Yeah. So I didn't do that. Also, we stayed at a different location. So we got dressed and ready at our cabins that we stayed at, and then we drove to the venue and then put on our dresses there.
Okay.
So
All right. What else? So you had taupe. What other taupe? You had taupe in your wedding party or your wedding colors. What other colors, what other textures were incorporated? Is there a theme?
we did a lot of dried florals. So I did do like terracotta florals, rust, and the pampas. I did pampas. So a lot of that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Lots of earth tone. And
It was in the fall.
Yeah. What was your venue's like aesthetic?
I would say it was very modern.
Modern, like barn setup. It was hill country, but yeah, it was beautiful. I mean, that was what we're looking for, is something that was simple but also not like, I don't know, falling apart at the same time.
You wanted like nice, but
Yeah.
not like over the top, like ornate.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because I feel like our vibe wasn't that. Like, I wanted very minimal flowers on the tables, too. Like, we had bud vases and small, like, tea light candles. So we didn't really need a lot because our venue was really spectacular. Like, they were, I don't know, they do a lot of attention to detail. The chandeliers were, like, these big glass balls. And, like, the bar had really cool, like, turquoise tile. The bathroom's tiles was really cool.
What's
like,
the name of it?
Maze Ridge.
Maze Ridge. Yep. Okay. I've seen pictures. One of my clients has. Anyway, yeah. Love those chandeliers.
Yes.
Obsessed. I thought they were maybe like rentals that people brought in.
Oh no.
I love them.
And a lot of people do like floral on top of those chandeliers, but I'm like, they're just so beautiful on their
like
own.
Hollywood glam.
Yes.
I love it.
I loved it so much. So it didn't need a lot. So that's what I liked.
And I feel like that's kind of like the vibe you guys were giving was like that Hollywood glam meets boho hill country, like, and it was so just like mature and fun, and I loved everything I saw in the pictures.
Thank you.
Yes, like I can't wait to see the article. Thanks, Faith, for putting that together.
Thanks, Faith.
Okay, and so let's talk about the day of. What were some of your favorite moments?
I think seeing my dad for the first time, that was really special. Oh, it's gonna make me cry.
Aww.
Yeah, that was really sweet.
Are you the oldest daughter?
I'm the oldest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. That's all I can say. It was just really special, and yeah. And I was like really nervous. And I was just super like just giddy, but like very like nervous.
Nerve-sighted.
And then the whole process, that was just a lot, like the getting ready, and then I was nervous about the whole ceremony.
Yeah.
And then Hudson and I did a first look, and so walking towards him, I was getting nervous there too. But then once I saw him, I'm like, I'm so glad we did the first look, because he really calms me down, and just like, I'm like, oh, this is it. This is easy. This is gonna be okay.
Yeah.
So I love doing the first look with you.
Yeah. What about you, Hudson?
Favorite part was definitely seeing her come down the aisle. Obviously, that was great, and seeing her parents behind her. Yeah, and then just sharing all the photos with my friends, all the groomsmen.
Those were awesome.
Yeah, very funny. But yeah, definitely coming down the aisle, and then I just felt like I was on autopilot for some of it, and I kept having to remind myself, like, all right, wake up, be in this moment, take it in.
Yeah.
It's not gonna last very long. You know, you need to enjoy this right now, or this moment right now. So, I'd say that's usually what I do when I get nervous, is I go into autopilot, and I'm like. But I had to kind of reel back in and, enjoy it.
And it was still special, me walking down the aisle, even though we did the first look. Because a lot of people have that, like
they don't want to take that away.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad we did the first look, so I could at least talk to you and.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was a special moment too.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't around for our rehearsal, because we did our rehearsal like hours before the actual ceremony.
Oh, you didn't do it the day before.
So because someone had a wedding there.
Right.
So we did it, and so I didn't really know the plan, and so they started the music at a certain point, and I'm like, no, this was not what I envisioned. And so I had both of my parents. I'm like, this wasn't it. Like, it's gonna. And my dad's like, Jalen, calm down. And so I'm walking with both of them, and then like once I get closer, and then I see Hudson, and I'm like everything else just goes away, and you're like, okay.
this is why we're here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love
it doesn't matter.
And I love the first look, like, was a grounding moment. I've heard that a lot from brides, of just like giving yourself a moment with your person before the wedding. Because like I've been living with my partner for, I don't know, 2 years-ish. Like, so it's not like I wake up every day next to him.
Yeah.
Like, I will be sleeping in the same bed with him the night before the wedding, which was like hard for my mom to understand. She's like, but it's bad luck. I'm like, Mom, I literally don't care. You are a Christian. You don't believe in luck. Like, come on. Like, it's on God, you know?
On God.
That's on God.
Oh my gosh.
And so I couldn't imagine not having that moment with Jackson. Like, he's my person. He's my best friend. I want to be like, you know, and like, I also get nervous. He gets nervous. He's a sweater. Like, I can't imagine, like, I need to give him some time to like sweat it out before he's in front of everyone. So like, first look, and like maybe some private vow exchange might happen.
I love that.
Yeah. Did you guys do personal vows, private vows, anything?
I think we meant to, but we forgot.
Well, we kind of did our vows even before the wedding. Like at home, we were discussing what we wanted to do, and I had already written up majority of it, and I just kind of said it out loud to her, and then she said hers to me. So
because our officiant was Hudson's uncle, so we wrote our vows, and
is there a reason that you guys chose him specifically?
He has an amazing personality. He's incredibly intelligent, and he can talk in front of crowds, and he's really good with his words. And
nice.
He's a good person, and he was the one that I envisioned marrying us and being a part of that day. And I think his speech with with everything was right on point. I knew he would do a good job, and I wanted family a part of that as much as possible, and not some random stranger, because I don't know, we don't have anyone that I mean, we go to church, but we don't have anyone that we'd be like, oh, come and get us married,
connection,
you know? Yeah, so Uncle Neil, I think he did a great job.
Oh. That's so special, and that's like a hard decision to make too. And if it's something that you've like envisioned, I'm so glad you went with it and trusted your gut, because that's not something you want to be like, why did we hire that random person?
Right.
This is such a special, you know, connection to not just you guys as a couple, but like bringing people into it as well. Like he knows how to express in a way that other people don't. It's a skill. Yeah. Okay, and what else? Like, were there any moments where you're like looking back thinking, wow, I wish I would have, you know, spent more time like being present, or I wish I would have brought extra boob tape, or I wish I would have done something? Is there anything that you would give to our listeners of like, make sure you remember to do this?
At one wedding I went to, the bride and groom were like not on the dance floor, and Hudson and I are dancers, and
hardcore dancers.
I was like, at our wedding, we're going to be on the dance floor. All night. And so I did that. But afterwards, I was like, I did it way too long. Like, I didn't see a lot of the people and, like, go outside. We had
I did that for you, though.
I know, but I didn't. We had, like, cornhole going on, and I remember dancing, and I was, like, seeing people really get into it. Like, people were taking off their shirts and just in their tank tops. I'm like, whoa.
Yep.
It was getting
rowdy
out there.
Heated cornhole.
That's what we wanted, though. That's what we wanted.
Yeah, we wanted a big party. We even had, like, my sister and her friends came out in, like, the inflatable Bad Bunny sharks. So we had them. Yeah. It was really fun.
That's awesome.
And then your grandmother serenaded us as well.
Yes,
it was the coolest thing ever.
Sang with our mariachis. So, yes.
Oh, my gosh. Is she a singer?
She is.
Wow.
She's a singer.
She's amazing.
I have full-body chills just thinking about that.
She loves entertaining. So,
and that was a surprise?
Yes.
Oh.
And I think it was a surprise for her. Our
she wasn't expecting it either.
Our mariachis, we had 3 of them, but our trumpet players got lost. So, like, 3 of them were there, and so they were playing. And then my grandma was like, well, I'll just sing a couple songs. So she got up there, and we're like, okay.
She ran with it.
Queen. I love that.
So it was sweet. Yeah, it was really special. We had a lot of our family in it, and that was something that we wanted. Like his uncle doing officiating, my grandma. So it was nice.
Yeah. Is there anything that you would leave with the listeners of just
for me, being present, you know, it's on the day. It's so, like I said, speaking from personal experience, obviously, I got into autopilot with some of the moments in the wedding, because I was just like, all right, keep it together. Don't embarrass yourself in front of everyone. But I was able to, again, remind myself that, you know, this is one day, it's going to come and go, and I need to enjoy it while it's here. So, be present, enjoy the moment. And, like I said, I wanted to dance, but at the same time, there were people there that I hadn't seen in years, and some people on her side of the family that I hadn't even really met. So I wanted to make sure that I went around and thanked them for being there, and just talk to them. So I was grateful that I got to do that. And, I'd say just be present and say hi to everybody.
Nice. If there's one thing that we all know and understand about weddings, it's that there's a lot to learn in not a lot of time. That's why I love Nicole Mara's jewelry and services. Working with gemologist Nikki at Nicole Mara is like taking the funnest crash course on gems and metals that you could ever have, all while shopping for your own jewelry. And Nikki is offering 10% off wedding bands when you mention Bridal Buzz during your consultation. Nikki has amazing band options that you can browse through on her website, NicoleMara.com, but you can also work with her to create something custom to your liking. Consultations are super easy to set up and are such an incredible way to get connected to the woman behind the brand who is potentially designing your band. How cool is that? So if you're looking for those timeless, unique wedding bands, make sure you head to NicoleMara.com today, schedule your consultation, and mention Bridal Buzz for 10% off of those bands. Again, mention Bridal Buzz for 10% off of those bands. Okay, well, let's get into some real... I mean, not that these aren't real stories, they are, but some stories from the internet that you guys can offer your recently married advice on. Okay. So these are mainly going to be from the wedding subreddit, aka WEDDIT. I think there might be one from the relationship advice one. Yes. We'll see if we get to that. A lot of the relationship advice ones were like very sad, and I was like, I'm not trying to bring us down to that.
No.
like just found out my fiance was cheating on me and things like that, and I'm like, different podcast, not this one.
Oh my gosh. No.
Yes. Okay, so this is kind of something we talked about. The title is Suits versus Tuxedo. Looking for opinions on whether to do a suit or a tuxedo. Fiance is cool with either, and I'm leaning towards a suit. What's the thoughts on both? I guess if you can rock it, go for it. Planning on navy with burgundy tie. So what do you guys think?
Say if you can rock it, go for it. But
yeah.
Personally, I'm pretty simple. I like the classic look. I think that's why I went with that. I was like, I don't want anything too flashy or fancy. And then in the pictures, I think it looked amazing. It turned out great. But if you can rock it, wear it.
Yeah. But I also like the different color tuxedos, like the navy blue with the burgundy, and I've seen like burnt orange, and they just look so fun.
Yes.
Or like what are the little ties the cowboys wear?
The
bolo ties.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen that. Like those are super. I love all the fun different things that people have been doing with like tuxedos and stuff.
And so I didn't even really know the difference between a tuxedo and a suit until I went for Jackson's. I'm like, what's the difference? And I guess it's literally just the material that's on the lapel. And I thought it was like when I envision a tuxedo, I envision a high waist cummerbund with tails, and like I picture black. Like I didn't really associate tuxedo with anything outside of that. And so for me, I think maybe this person also needs to understand, like, they're basically the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
It's just there's a couple of differences, but you can do whatever you want with either.
Yeah.
You know, like, and we were looking at double-breasted versus single, or I don't know if it's called single, but like just, you know, one row of buttons versus two rows of buttons and all these things. And I was like, oh, that's a suit, not a tuxedo. Like, I had no idea. So I think my recommendation for this couple would be go try things on. Go look around, because it doesn't have to be a tuxedo just because it's a formal event. I feel like, what would you say, like, even if it's a black tie, like, it's up to you.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Like, I don't know. So anyway, and you guys decided to do tuxedo. So was there a moment where you tried on suits too, or was it just like, go for the tux?
Yeah, I tried on a few different things, and I think it was just, again, I felt that I looked best, and I felt comfortable in how I wanted to look in what I chose to wear. So
Perfect.
I went with that.
Nice. Nice. And with that classic black, like that silky lapel just looks, makes it look so much more expensive. Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay, cool. I hope that helps anybody out there looking to decide between their suit or their tuxedo. Okay. This one is about sticker shock. So the title is How to Get Your Fiancé Past Sticker Shock.
That's a good question.
We knew a wedding was not cheap. Well, I did. Apparently, he not so much. I've been running numbers for weeks and weeks now and have come up with the best price I've been able to. $16,000 for everything. Venue at an inn. We would be staying there 2 nights per requirement. Church, food caterer, photographer, flowers, our pastor, tux dress. A fact I've had to get over. We are not going to find anything cheaper. And I know that. I've made my peace with that knowledge. I've been the one so far primarily looking. Due to no fault of his own, he's in the military. He's been away. Well, it is partially his fault. He signed the contract, but anywho. Most of the venues around us are booking up, and we simply don't have time for him to come to the conclusions that I have. Could we potentially find something cheaper? Absolutely. That would be a dream. Is it realistic for the area we are looking? Not a chance. I know that. He does not. I don't want to spend $16,000 on a wedding just as much as he does, but we both want a nice wedding, and I'm holding on to that dream for all it's worth. Maybe you can help a friend out. Maybe I just need to get it off my chest. Why is this so expensive? And there's an update, but I kind of want to get your thoughts on, like, was that an experience you guys had of, like, the sticker shock, and how did you cope with that?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, there was several shocks there for several different stickers, but yeah, there's definitely a cheaper way of doing things. We've had friends that got married in their backyards, and it was amazing. And we loved it. Weddings are weddings.
Yeah.
You know, you're gonna pay a chunk of change on them, and you got to be willing to. In some areas, you got to sacrifice. Yes, in some areas, we found compromise. We found a way to get around some of these prices, and we resourced it to friends and family members. And a few of my clients came through and put us in contact with people that could hook us up with flowers and all that situation. Because as soon as you say wedding, they're throwing an extra 25% on their average price or the regular price that they're selling stuff for. So we knew that going into that, but there were several things. Yeah, for sure. We were both kind of like, what? That's ridiculous.
And we're like things that we didn't really care for. So I would say, like, maybe pick your, like, top priorities of things that, like, you want. If you know you want extravagant flowers, make the budget for that bigger. Yeah. And then maybe, like, downsize in some different area.
Yeah, like do the buffet instead of the seated dinner, like whatever you can.
Right. Yeah, because that's a lot. And I remember I would, like, search for so-and-so vendor, and it would give me all, like, the top 5, and then I'd be like, oh my gosh, this is what they're asking for, like, this is all. And then I had to tell myself, okay, there are several other vendors in this category. I can keep looking. So and not, like, go with the cheapest person that, you know, that, like, low quality, but, like, find someone who can have good quality and also meet your budget.
Exactly. Yes.
Just do all the research.
Yes. So much research goes into it, for sure. For me, it was, like, the most shocking one was rentals of, like, chairs and plates and things. I'm like, $15 per chair?
I just want a regular plate.
Can they just sit on a cushion on the ground? Like, can we stand up then? Like, so expensive. But, you know, it all comes down to, what is your priority? Are you okay with the chair that the venue has in stock, or do you want something different? So, yeah. So the update says, thank you all for your help and compassion. It makes me feel a lot better knowing I'm not alone. We ended up going back to the drawing board, this time drawing everything out in the tiniest of details so he can be able to compare as well. Although we are not going with my original venue, we found one that is bigger and more beautiful than I could have ever imagined, and we will be shaving $5,000 off our original estimated cost. Oh. He's a man. What can you do? This emoji. Hands up emoji. Oh my gosh. Okay, wait, that makes me so happy that I hadn't read this part, that they actually found something that made both of them happy.
Nice.
Yeah, and they saved $5,000 in the process.
That's amazing.
That's a good chunk of change.
Yeah, and it sounds like, I don't know what the comments are suggesting. Let me see. The top comment says, I suggest you give him an assignment of finding another vendor that ticks all of the boxes, but that it's cheaper than the one you've selected. The reason you got past your sticker shock was because you actually saw all the options. He hasn't done that. Yeah. He still thinks there must be something cheaper out there, and you just didn't find it. Right. So, yeah, I think them sitting down together, really looking at all of their options and getting him to the place of understanding.
Like, this is where people are.
Yes. This is what it costs. This is what life is. If you want to have a wedding, you have to pay money. Right. I mean, maybe there's a free wedding out there being offered on some giveaway, but good luck, you know?
Yeah.
Odds are 99% of us are going to have to pay close to a new car price, you know?
Most definitely.
So, yeah. But sticker shock is a very real thing. And I'm still dealing with, like I told you guys about the alterations. My parents are like,
yeah.
Are you sure?
It's like another dress.
Literally.
You could buy another dress.
I could.
Are you doing different dresses? Are you doing 2 dresses?
So I wanted to, but I love my dress so much that I'm like, I don't want to not wear it.
Right.
Because why would I only wear it for 30 minutes?
I know.
You know?
That was my exact thought too.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. I'm taking off the sleeves. That'll be different.
Exactly. Yeah. So I was looking for a way to like make it convertible. I originally was like, can I make the top a bodysuit and then have a removable like overskirt that also has like a shorter version available? And then they're like, girl, do you want to spend another cha-ching? Yeah. And I'm like, oh no, maybe we'll go for the $100 bustle instead. Like,
yes.
Yeah. So once I realized like, cost, like my dreams can't be met with the money that I have in my wallet. I was like, okay, I guess I'll be team bustle. But the bustle she made was so beautiful. Good. I'm so excited.
Good. I'm so happy for you.
Yay, thank you. And I'm like, I highly doubt Jackson will be listening to all these episodes in detail, but I just don't want to like give away too much just in case. So I have to refrain.
Okay.
From sharing like all of the details from it. But yes, I will definitely be wearing the same dress for the whole night. Nice. That is the goal. But also when I was wearing it, I was like, this girl is heavy.
Yes.
She's got some weight to her. I'm like, my shoulders are already like, is this a good idea?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Is this what I want?
Definitely feel that.
Yeah. So anyway.
Just get a couple drinks in you won't feel it.
There you go. Right? Yeah. Love that. Maybe some Vaseline on the shoulders or something.
You'll be fine.
Yeah. It's one day. Okay. Next story. Oh, this is kind of relatable too. So this is also from the wedding subreddit. Title is Fiance Wants to Pick Out a Gaudy Cheap Suit. Not that you were looking at gaudy and cheap, but you were looking at something that was like out there, right? So she goes, need some advice here. My fiance and I decided we'd love for him to wear a plum colored suit for the wedding. In my mind, this was a subtle eggplant color that wasn't too bright or crazy. I recently started researching this and have only found these bright colored purple suits that, to me, are so costumey and gaudy. I showed them to my fiance saying, we may have to go a different route, and he loved them. He said, that's exactly what I was thinking. I'd love to wear that.
Oh my God.
And when I voiced that I wasn't the biggest fan, he said, well, I'm not in charge, so I'll do whatever you want. But you could tell he was disappointed and a little prickly about it. I don't know what to do. Y'all, these suits he likes are awful. Any advice?
Oh my gosh. That. Oh my gosh. That would be so hard because it's like, you know he wants it, but you're like, oh God. Like, no. Maybe if you like can find a happy medium of like, okay, you can wear the suit for the reception or like for the blah blah blah,
for the exit,
yes,
for our private dance.
Yeah, the private dance, that'll work.
Yeah.
I'm also wondering, like, is this like Barney purple? Like, what kind of purple? I wish they would have.
That's so sad because she sounds so excited. Like, yes, he's like, that's exactly that's what I wanted.
And she's like, oh no, not what I was wanting to hear. Oh. That's so hard.
And he's so sweet. He's like, oh, you're in charge.
That's right, I am. You better know it now.
I don't know. What would you do, Hud?
I don't know. That's hard. That's really hard.
Would you stand firm? Would you be like, Jay, this is what I want?
No, because it's just as much your day as it is mine. Aww. So I'd find compromise, find a way to work around that. Like I said, I don't know, exit with it. That's fine. At least I get to wear it for a little bit of time.
Yeah.
But I don't know, give and take, figure something out. But that's rough. That's tough.
Is tough.
Yeah. And it's weird because, like, it wouldn't be the opposite. Like, you wouldn't be like telling Jalen, no, like, I don't know about that dress. And so I feel like there is this element of like, we need to bring more equality into this. I almost didn't want to go to Jackson's suit fitting with him because I was like, shouldn't it be a surprise for me too? Like, but then it's like, I'm also very type A and I need to know exactly what you're wearing. So. But I had this like, you know, I wanted it to feel special for him too, and there'd be surprises. But he made some decisions about the lining on his suit that I was like, okay, that's on you. If that's what you want,
all right, that's
what you're doing. So I support you. You know.
Okay.
Thank God it's on the inside of the jacket, though.
Oh my gosh.
So I don't know what I would do if, and also like Jackson is not one to be making a lot of fashionable decisions on his own. He would typically be coming to me
And,
for
like,
advice in the
ask you,
first place.
yeah.
I don't know if you're the same way, but like, so this would not be
A
us.
thing.
Like he
Yeah.
wouldn't be like, yeah, I've been dreaming about that purple suit for like years. Like he's like,
Okay.
I don't like, I guess I should start thinking about what I should wear.
Yeah.
Like-
I'd be like,
That's
so we need
exactly
to do
how I
like your
was.
suit. So
Yeah, literally. I'm like, the wedding's in 3 months. We need
Yeah.
to get your suit. So
yeah, we waited like really long for HUD too. So
Yeah.
you're good.
yeah, I tried not to, but there's only so much you can do when there's
Sure.
two people in an equation.
No doubt.
Okay, so the top comment says, I think cohesive might be a useful framing here. Saying, quote, babe, I want you to wear something that makes you happy and feels authentic, but it is really important to me that we look cohesive.
Ooh.
My dress/suit or outfit, insert qualities and fanciness levels, is that fanciness level. And I'm worried it will look bad/weird, embarrassing, distracting if we don't have similar levels of dressiness.
Ooh, yeah.
Hopefully that works.
Yeah.
Because if her dress is, is on that vibe, then she can use that excuse. But
right.
it'd be weird if it, that's because there's an assumption of, like, her dress is going to be a different level of dressiness. I think that's an assumption. Yeah, because she didn't say anything about her dress. Yeah.
Yeah, I would go with that.
Mm-hmm. I think it
Like,
just
hey,
comes
it's
down.
It's not gonna work. We're not
just
gonna look.
Isn't gonna.
We're not gonna look like a couple. We're gonna look like a guest and a bride.
Yeah. And maybe, to each couple their own. If you're the kind of couple that is doing like the dress to impress style dress code where everybody shows up in their over the top,
yeah.
funky, brightest color suit, maybe go for the fun purple suit, but like for the reception, like have something classic and timeless for some of the photos, but also like something good that he can walk away with and like rewear. Like I don't know when he's going to rewear that purple suit.
Right.
Yeah.
Unless he's playing like Austin Powers for Halloween.
Could happen.
Could happen. You never know. But yeah, I think communication is always key.
Yeah, and
For
I guess
sure.
like the vibe, because if the wedding's like a different vibe, then
Right.
'cause we've heard about weddings where it's like you dress like disco cowgirl, like and that's their vibe. Everyone's wearing sparkly outfits and stuff like that. So I guess it just depends on the wedding vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I definitely want to bring this one up just because I mentioned it earlier. So, and it's like a very popular story. It's from like half a year ago, but it has 220 upvotes, which on the wedding subreddit is a good amount.
Okay.
And it has an award, which means people were like, you deserve money for this.
What?
Mm-hmm. So it goes, why is the groom so minimalized? I was told today by the soon-to-be mother-in-law in front of the fiancé that it was too much effort to include me in decisions. She told me I need to step back. My fiancé said nothing. Now, I am a bit of a romantic, and from the start, I told her I wanted to be an active part in the wedding and the planning. All I am told is that it is her day and whatever the bride wants. I see this mentality as the reason men forget anniversaries and wedding songs and whatever else men forget. I mean, if you're not part of it and merely in attendance, how can they blame you? I searched for help with this and nothing. Closest thing is mother of the groom issues. Again, why are grooms so minimalized?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
I mean, I think when I was growing up, it was the bride was such a romanticized like picture idea of just like, and like it's the bride's day. It's such a cliche, but I think more often in modern weddings, like with you guys, you're seeing the groom is becoming a part of the conversation.
Oh yeah.
And I mean, this was this year, like a half a year ago. So it's not even like this was in 10 years ago or something. And so it makes me sad that people still practice this mentality when it's like, you're going into a partnership together.
Yeah.
Shouldn't you enter into that as a partnership, like
For
making
sure.
decisions together.
Oh yeah.
Because if you're just going to be going to your mom for the next 40 years in your relationship and counting your partner out of your decision making because you trust your mom more than you trust your husband or whatever is happening here, that needs premarital counseling.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. That's a problem.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I totally agree. Red flag.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Red flag.
For sure.
what are your thoughts? Like, how did you experience this ever, or were people very much like open and welcoming to you as the groom in this relationship?
I'd say very open and welcoming. No, that's like I said, I wanted her to be happy. You know, there are a lot of things where I'm like, I'm down for that. If that's what you like, I'm down for it. I'm a pretty simple type of guy, so I'm again just speaking from how I am. I didn't some of the decisions that we made. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I mean, I don't know. I didn't really have I don't know. I don't know what the verbiage is, the word I'm looking for, but
Like strong opinions.
Yeah, strong
Yeah.
opinion. I was happy with whatever it was. All I just wanted to get married to her. So
Aw.
I'd show up whether it was where we were or somewhere completely different. But yeah, in that type of scenario, if you're not able to control any of the details, yeah, that's an issue. But
Yeah.
no, we were very, very back and forth. We were able to knock out a bunch of stuff together and agree on a lot of things. And you know what her priorities were. I was like, cool. I want you to pick what you want, and
Yeah.
let's get that.
But I was also like, I don't want to just pick everything.
Yeah.
Because like this is your day too.
Yeah.
Sure.
So I mean, like I did with the venue, I'd be like, okay, these are the things that I like. I like this one, or like this one, or like this one.
Mm-hmm.
Like option A, B, C. Which one do you like? And then he'd be like, oh, well, I like this one too. And so then we would. That's how I did it.
She
Yeah.
narrowed it down
I
for
narrowed
me.
it down for HUD.
Yeah. You weren't like go into the wild and bring back 3 options.
Mhm.
Right.
That would be probably a lot for my fiance
Yeah.
too. You brought him the options and
Uh-huh.
were like, okay, tell me what you like, what you don't like. You still included him in the decisions.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think that's so necessary. I mean, like I said, like you're literally going into, a lifetime together. And if this isn't the time that you're going to practice making decisions together, I don't know when that's going to come.
For
Yeah.
sure.
You
And what I enjoyed is like there's a lot of things that like you said I didn't really have much of a like strong opinion on as far as like flowers, other than like having the whole Mother Nature in our wedding. I was like, no, I don't want that, but she was able to with those decisions give me options. I was like, oh, I like that style. She's like, cool, I like that style too.
Aw.
Boom,
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest red flag I'm hearing here in this story is that this was said from the mother-in-law in front of the fiance, and the fiance did nothing.
Mm.
So to me, it's like there's something off in that partnership where they're giving their parent too much power, and like it's going to be you and your partner. That's that at the end of the day, like this is your new family unit.
Sure.
And I would feel so alone if my partner treated me like that
And
and
didn't
decided
say
not
anything.
and didn't say
Yeah.
anything and just like let his parents kind of overrule my opinion.
Mhm.
I would feel very alone.
Absolutely. I'm very blessed that Hudson's family is not like that. And there's times where I'm like, can you just like do it? Can you choose? And she's like, yeah, but it's your wedding. It's y'all's wedding. Like I'm like, no, but I want you to do it.
For my wedding, I want you to do it.
I want you to decide.
Yes.
But yeah, and I feel like you said, you are going into your own family unit. So it's not that your parents' opinions don't matter. I think you can talk to them about things or important things, but I feel like now it's us. Now it's our circle of trust. And so we got to defend each other, and we got to be strong towards everybody else in our
No,
decisions
we have to
and
put each
stuff.
other first before
Yeah.
others. So that's
Yeah.
agreed.
Yeah, family dynamics.
For
Those are-
real.
No.
They definitely come out during the wedding
Oh,
process.
Most
absolutely.
definitely.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is probably not the first time this mother-in-law has been overbearing
Going into
Yeah.
a situation
and
like
telling,
that.
and probably saying, nope, I don't care where you want to eat dinner, we're going here.
Mhm.
Like very little things along the way, and now it's just like on the biggest level ever of like, doesn't matter. It's the bride's day, not yours. It's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm the one getting married to her.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
so I met
Yeah.
her too. Top comment says, you need to have this discussion with your fiancé. Why didn't she speak up when her mom was dismissing you?
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
I would I don't think I would last with a partner like that. I would have left them a long time ago if that was their mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And Jackson's the same way. Like, I have sometimes bad timing with my humor, and I'll like say something when I'm nervous that it's like the wrong thing. And early on in our relationship, he was like, "Hey, when you said this, I know it was like a joke to you, but I don't like being blasted like that in front of other people, And so I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry." Like, and so that's something I know about him, and like I have to respect him in that way. And if this happened with him, he would feel so disrespected, just because it's like that for him is really important. Just like words are important. The way you speak about people, the way you acknowledge their opinions is really important. So yeah, I could not last in a relationship like that.
Yeah. No.
For
She
sure.
needs a good talking.
Yeah.
Or
Premarital counseling, head to modernwellness.com, modernwellnesscounseling.com. They have tools for people no matter where you are in the world, no matter where you are in your relationship, accessible tools, resources. Check it out.
Nice.
Making time for yourself while you're planning your wedding can be pretty difficult. Trust me, I get it. But with the Sweaty Studio, it can actually be pretty easy. Callie's approach to Pilates on her app is accessible for anybody, no matter where you're at in your health and fitness journey, no matter how much time you have in your day, and no matter what equipment you have at your house. Her attitude toward fitness is all about self-love and just feeling better in your body. Nothing about that toxic mentality of shredding for the wedding. And I'm super excited to let you guys know that Callie and the Sweaty Studio are offering 1 free month to all of you bridal babes with the code BUZZ. You'll get access to that February self-love challenge that's going on right now. And you'll also be able to get started on the March challenge that's coming up. But with that, you'll also get access to all of her videos from 5 minutes to 40 minutes. Some are meditations, some are workouts, and all of them are geared toward a more positive and uplifting mentality for you. So make sure you head to sweatystudio.com, type in that code BUZZ, B-U-Z-Z, for 1 free month access to Sweaty Studio. And if you're joining us on these monthly challenges, please let me know in the comments, slide into my DMs. I want to know, and we can hold each other accountable and have fun with it. So again, sweatystudio.com, code BUZZ for 1 free month. Do we want to talk about name changes, kid-free weddings, or trying to get a partner to propose after being together for a long time?
Ooh.
I don't care.
Either one. We had a kid-free wedding for the most part.
Okay, let's do the
most
kid-free
part.
wedding then. Is that you guys will have a hot take on? Okay, so this is from the wedding subreddit, and it's called Kid-Free Wedding Drama. Need some non-biased advice for my June wedding. My fiance and I decided we want a kid-free wedding. The only children we were planning on inviting are a 15-year-old and a 7-year-old who will be our flower girl, both from my fiance's side. My mom had mentioned to my brother and sister-in-law, who are both a groomsman and bridesmaid, that we are having no kids. Their son is 3 months old and will be 10 months old at the time of our wedding. I love my nephew, but we really want the focus to be on us and to allow people to enjoy their time. My fiance's close relatives have young children as well, 5 kids total, who are all under 2. So I feel like if we invite one, we have to invite all. My brother and sister-in-law are so annoyed with me and think it's disrespectful that I'm not allowing my nephew to come to the wedding. Their reasoning as to why he should come is because our wedding is on a holiday weekend and all of the family/friends that could babysit will be away. I'm inviting my sister-in-law's parents to the wedding as well. Also to note, my brother and sister-in-law's wedding was kids-free. My brother told my mom that if I had kids when they got married, they wouldn't think twice about inviting them. I just don't know if I'm being a bridezilla. We also said my nephew can come to the rehearsal dinner, even though that is not ideal because 5 other little ones will need to be invited. Can someone please give me some advice? Am I being dramatic with my request of no kids? Edit. adding that my fiance's sister is having a baby in March and would be 3 months old, and we would be saying no to them also. The other little ones are my fiance's cousin's kids, who to him are like his own nieces and nephews. They all assume it is kids free and have childcare lined up. Only my brother is taking this news hard. Thanks everyone for the advice so far. Ooh. So how did you guys handle? Were there any people that were kind of combative about not wanting kids at your wedding?
Not so much. I think my mom was. I think she was just like, well, how are you going to turn away people? They have kids. Mm-hmm. But I was just like, no, like we only had my nieces and nephew because they were a part of the wedding. So we had them, and those were the only kids that we had. And everybody else was okay with it.
Yeah.
No one else said anything. And I think I put it in like our like FAQ on our website. Like, we want you guys to enjoy like the night away from kids, like just adults only. And everyone was fine with it. No one said anything after that. And my mom was good.
I think we had one of my friends couldn't go because they couldn't find anybody, and they texted last minute. I was like, hey, our sitter can't make it. After all, we're not going to be able to make it. And I mean, it is what it is. At the end of the day, it's your day. Yeah. You decide. You're paying for all of it. Like, I'm sorry, but I may be a jerk for saying this, but who cares? You know, if I don't want kids there,
like
she doesn't want kids there, I'm down. That's cool.
Yeah.
Anyone who doesn't come, you're missing out. That's fine. You know, there's enough options out there for a vast majority of people to find someone to take care of their kids. But
yeah. And I think that was his, like, your mentality also with things that I was like, because I always like care about what people think or what they're gonna say, and so I'm like, oh my god, well, if we don't he's like, who cares? Like, it's not their day, it's your day, it's like our day. This is what we want. Like, why? If they want to come, then great, and if they don't, okay, that's fine.
So was it a decision that you guys like struggled with making, or was it pretty simple up front, like no kids?
For me, it was pretty simple.
Me, at first it was really hard, but then if I was just like, I'm just gonna stick with my family. And lucky I just have 3 nieces and 1 nephew, but my sister actually gave birth 3 days before our wedding.
Oh my gosh. Did she bring the little nugget?
Oh heck yes, she did. Oh my god. I'm like surprised, and everyone was so like surprised that she made it, but she went for the ceremony. She had a cesarean, so she went for the ceremony, stayed a little bit for dinner, and then headed out. But he was so cute in his little tux. Like, he had a little tux onesie. Luxton is just the cutest.
So cute. And what a special, like, the baby's not going to remember, but like, he's going to have little pictures at a wedding for the rest of his life.
Little photos with him and Hudson in their tuxes, because he had a little bow tie also. It was just adorable.
3 days old.
And then the kids were fine. Yeah, 3 days old.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the kids that were there were great. Yeah.
Like, we had the cornhole outside. There was also swings. So like, they ate and then they went outside and played. And if they heard a good song, then they came in. The sharks were hit with them and older people. Like, it was fun, and I don't regret having them there, and I don't regret telling other people no.
Yeah. Good for you guys.
It was special.
Yeah. Love that you're like very just like unapologetic. Like, this is it. And it's all about those priorities, right? It's like, this is our wedding. No, we're not going to like put the energy into having the kids here, or like the money, because that's not our priority.
For sure.
And I think this story specifically sounds like more of a family dynamic issue than like having kids at the wedding issue. And like you said, there's opportunity. Like, all of our family and friends are going to be at the wedding. Who's going to sit the kids? A professional babysitter.
Yeah.
Childcare services.
Right.
I don't know.
There's tons of options.
Like care.com.
Yeah. Like, I'm sure there's like daycare things, night care things. I don't know. I don't have kids, but there's a solution.
Yes.
And I'm sure if money is the issue, that can be a conversation as well. You know, like one night, we can help you cover that if that's what it's going to come down to. But also, it sounds like the brother's wedding was also a kid-free wedding. Right. And now he's like upset that the sibling is having a kid-free wedding. And it's like, sorry, you're older and have kids now, but that doesn't mean I have to have your kids. And like under 1. Like they're not even like able to walk around on their own yet.
Yeah.
You know, they're very much like babies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
10 months, and she said there was going to be a 3-month-old. Is this the same person? There's no way. Okay, fiance's sister is having a baby. Okay. I was like, physically not possible. I don't understand.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I think, yeah, let's go over top comment. So they say, you're not being dramatic at all. I think the biggest tell is that your brother and sister-in-law are being such hypocrites and making your date about them. I can see where the rub would be if the 7-year-old was also going to be attending the reception. But I'm sure you've already weighed this into your decision. Can you imagine having 6 or more kids crying, screaming, laughing, running around during your ceremony? That's probably why your brother and sister-in-law also had a child-free event. I think you set a certain age, say 14 and under not invited, and your family has 7 months to figure out childcare. Yeah, literally months.
Yeah.
If you give in and there are issues during your ceremony, you're going to regret your decision and resent them forever. Whew.
Yeah.
No need to hold resentment toward a child.
Not worth that. Definitely not.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Yeah. Well, and then the kids we had were really good, but like one of my nieces, she was the flower girl, and she's like 2.5, 3, Waylon. And I think I heard her cry a little bit, but Dad was already on it, like grabbed her, walked away, and it was fine. And then my sister was like, if anything, like we have her husband's, like her mother-in-law was there, and she was like, she'll just take the kids and go back to the hotel. Like she was already planning, you know.
There was a contingency plan. Yeah.
So, yeah. Ugh.
I also like the closer I get to my wedding day, I'm like, if there's a baby crying in the back, like least of my worries at that point, you know, like it'll add a memory to the day, you know.
And you really don't even like, it's not a thing.
Yeah.
Our music, like my walking down music, messed up because of the wind. And
like
it was
what?
a very little mess up.
It was like a little like hiccup in the song. Wow.
Not noticeable, but to anyone but
it's
her.
Something she'll never forget.
For sure.
Something I'll never forget. But like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't define the day.
No, everything else was amazing. I married the man of my dreams, and like, everything else was fun.
Yeah.
And the only thing I do, I'm like, oh, I really wish we were guests at our wedding, because everyone seemed to be having a really fun time, and I'm like, I was kind of tired.
I'm like, I wish I could be like a little less stressed right now. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. You're like, invite me to my own wedding next time. So, do you guys had a day of coordinator that helped you? A wedding planner? Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm sure that helped at least feel a little bit more like a guest, because I was a part of a DIY wedding this summer. I was a bridesmaid, and I'm like, I love you so much. I love you so much.
Yeah.
But I was barely even a guest, you know? So there's definitely pick your priorities, you know?
Yeah. And put a day of coordinator as a priority.
Yes.
Like it has to be.
Yes. At least like have someone there the day of 6 weeks out if you can. Like
that's familiar with like how things run and who needs to go where, and
has worked at that venue before.
Yes.
Please, for the love of Bridal Buzz.
Do it.
You
will
have
not
coordination.
regret.
Yes.
And it sounds crazy because you're like, I'm not going to pay somebody to just tell me. No. You want somebody to be like, hey, it's time for this. Or, hey, here's this to eat. Here's this to drink. Like, thank you, because I'm forgetting to do that.
And making sure all the vendors are in the right place on the day of. Like, I would hate to be
Mom
picking
and
up
dad
the phone.
are on.
Yes,
you know.
exactly.
Ooh,
yeah.
Yes.
So, recommending that. Is there anything else like wedding advice, recently married advice, just a little tidbit that you'd like to leave with the listeners as we wrap up today's episode?
I was looking at you.
Me? Oh. You want me to go first, or I'll let you go first on that one?
I don't know. I just think like maybe like stay firm in your decisions on things. If you don't want a cake, we didn't want a cake. We didn't have a cake, and I feel like our family was like, "Why are you not having a cake?" But that's not what we wanted. We had a churro bar and mini cakes, and that was our thing. Like we liked that, and so if you don't want kids, don't have kids. Just stay firm in your like decisions, and don't compare to like other things. And I know TikTok was really hard because I'd be like, oh, is like what I'm choosing not in style anymore? You know? And it's like, it doesn't matter.
These 10 things are things you're not going to want to see in next year's wedding season.
Yeah, and I'm like,
leave me alone.
Oh, heck. No, so just stay firm in your decision. Your day's going to be beautiful, and have fun. Have fun.
Yay.
Because it's really fun. Yeah.
I agree with that.
Okay.
I think
He's like, I'll let you go first.
You hear a lot of like outside opinions and stuff being thrown at you, and then it makes you second guess your decisions, and ultimately, create your priority list and then go after what you want, and don't pay attention to what everybody else is telling you to do or not to do. So, and enjoy it. But
love that.
Yeah, have fun.
Be you. Do you.
No.
And you know, a lot of people say that like after the wedding, it's like you feel depleted or like kind of depressed or sad. For me, I didn't feel that. I don't know if it's because we had such a long engagement, but like mentally I was exhausted. And even though I loved the day and I had an amazing time, it was really nice to be like, oh, I don't have to think about all those decisions anymore. And like, we can just be married and have fun. And it was like when we were dating again. I'm like, oh, it's so nice to just have a weekend where we're just hanging out.
Love that. Yeah. And you didn't have like lingering, okay, we got to talk about this. Got to finalize this decision. Yeah. That's interesting. And I do feel like it takes a healthy approach the whole time and not letting everything rest on one day. I recently had a vendor tell me, he tells his couples, he's a DJ, to 4 weeks out from the wedding, hands off.
Yeah.
And like start going on dates, start doing things that are going to bring you back into your normal again. Because if you're just like full on wedding mode, and especially you guys were in it for 2 years, like for 2 years straight. And then it's like, how do we even do life together? I forgot what this is like when we are not planning a wedding. I think that was a pretty good piece of advice too. I don't know if I'll be able to do that, but like try your best to just live normal life leading up to the wedding too, so that it's not like so much of a shock.
Right.
Because post-wedding blues, it's a very real thing. It's very common. I mean, I used to have it in theater. We talked about it with Jimmy when she came in, like post-show blues. It's a very real thing when you have so much anticipation leading to one day and then it's over. And so I think, like just having your normal integrated into your engagement season is really important, so that it's not so shocking when you're
agreed.
And it was fun.
Yay, the wedding was fun.
The wedding was fun. Marriage is fun.
Yay. The honeymoon.
Oh, and that was like another thing. Like we had a while before we went on our like mini moon, so I mean it was nice too. Yeah,
to give yourself some time in between. Would that be like a recommendation?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't think I could have handled
like something
going
right after.
Straight,
to a
honeymoon.
We'll have a week between ours, so I'm hoping that'll be a good amount of time.
Yes.
It won't feel like limbo.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I'm glad that we're not just jumping on a plane the next day, because I'm like,
you're exhausted.
Yeah, and like all of our things, like what do we do?
Your
with
house
them?
is a wreck.
Yeah, like,
your house is a wreck.
Unpack.
You're exhausted. We slept all weekend, and it was amazing.
That's nice.
It's great.
Yeah,
it's great.
That's on being married.
Yeah.
Just sleep the weekend away. I love it. Okay, well, I guess that's it for today, guys. Thanks so much, Jalen and Hudson, for coming in. If Bridal Babes wanted to find you guys online, where would they do that?
Instagram at Jalen Falcon, Falcon.
Nice. And what about you? Are you online?
Yes. Instagram at HR Stancliff.
Okay. Cool. They're going to be sharing all of their things. I guess. They post on Instagram, so go follow them. You partner with cool brands, and she does cool things. So
thanks.
Okay, well, I guess that's it, Bridal Babes. Don't forget, the buzz doesn't have to stop here. We are everywhere online. You can find us on TikTok, Pinterest, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. With the best wedding inspiration all the time. And new podcasts are coming out every week. So make sure you subscribe, turn on your notifications, like this video, leave a comment with some thoughts. What are you thinking? Would you have kids at your wedding? other things, that like, what else did we talk about today?
And I'm like, oh, what did
Lots
we
of things, would you have a cake at your wedding? Would you decide not to have a cake? Lots of conversations that can be had. So let us know your thoughts. And we'll see you next time. Okay. Bye.